G'day mates, welcome to another episode of Learn That Solo. Today we're going to be looking at a fair dinkum challenge, Electric Crown by Testament. Let's take a look. Guys, before we get too excited, we've just got to remember that the tuning for this song is in E flat. So we've got E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat at the bottom. So get yourself in tune and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's take a look at the first section. I'm going to do a big bend on 16 of the third string. Then bring it back and then do a vibrato and a slight squeal on 14 of the third. And then I want to go to, and then to 16 of the fourth. And then a bend up and back on 17 of the second. And then I go to 14 of the third after that. So I go to the top. At the end of that, I want to play 16 of the fourth, and then back to 14 of the third. So the whole thing thus far is... Okay, then it gets a little bit faster here. I've got my pointer finger flat across 14 of the second and the third string, just because of... The way that I'm kind of working through that is that I've got notes to pull off to if I leave my pointer finger flat across the second and the third string. So we'll go through this pattern slowly. What I'm doing here is I'm going 16, 17, 16, 14, all in one pick on the second string. And then I do a pull off from 16 to 14 on the third string. And you'll notice that my point is just flat. And we're not trying to move that pointer too much, just leaving it flat across there. So we want to do this whole phrase exactly the same twice. Okay, now the next one is a little bit different. It's a little bit quicker. What I do is I do a quick hammer on from 16 to 17, and then I do the last phrase we did. So I go 16 to 17, and then 16, 17, 16, 14, and then the pull off on the string above. So I go... So altogether of this little fast bit, we've got two of the same thing, and then that little extra bit, and then another one of those phrases at the end. So I go... After that, I go... This is kind of the same thing. I've got my pointer finger now on the third and the fourth strings flat, just like we did before, so we've got something to pull off to, and it goes... Let's slow this down. I'm going 16, 17, 16, 14, and then I want to do another pull off from 16 to 14, so I go... So we're picking that 16 again, so I go 16, 17, 16, 14, and then we pick the 16 and pull off to 14. And then 16 to 14 on the fourth. And we want to do that whole phrase twice, so I go... So from here... Let's try the whole thing from the start of that section now. Guys, let's take a look at the second section. It'll go... Let's take a look at that a little bit slower. I've got a little bendy chord thing on 14 of the second and the third string, and then I'm going to 16 of the fourth, and then again. Sorry. And then I do it a third time, but I want to hit that bend twice. And at the end of that double bend, I go... So I play 16 of the fourth and then 16 of the fifth, and you notice that I'm sort of crossing over my fingers. And then I want to go 14, 16 on the fourth. So I go all together. Then we entered this silly phrase. Let's put that at a gentleman's pace, shall we? I want to go from 14 of the third string, and I'm going to go 14, 16, 17, and also the same on the second. But then I want to reverse just those notes here. So I want to go 14, 16, 17, and then 16, 14. So altogether, thus far, we're going. Okay? And now I want to go to 17 of the fourth, and it'll go, and then 16, 14 on the second, and then back to 17 of the third. I meant third, sorry, before. So altogether, we're going. And then the next bit that follows that, I want to play 16 of the third, and then 14 of the second, and then 17, 16 on the third. So those 4 notes again was. So play the whole thing a little slower now. And then we just repeat that whole thing twice. So I'll play it without any breaks. Let's try the whole section. A slight bendy chord thing on 14 of the second and third string, and then play 17 of the fourth. Slight squeal on 14 of the third. So I go, and then at the end of that, I want to play 17 of the fourth again, and then back to 14 of the third, but this time just a normal note without a squeal. So I go. At the end of that, it goes. So I've got a slight bend on 17 of the third, then a hammer-on into a pull-off from 14 to 17 back to 14 on the third, and then I go to 17 of the fourth string, and then back down to the squeal on 14 of the third. There it is. So I go. So the whole thing from the start of this section is. Okay, and then we go up to sort of an A minor pentatonic here. So I'm just thinking between, say, 20 and 7, that kind of area. So we go. So let's have a look at that slowly. I'm doing a slight bend on 19 of the third string. I'm doing a pull off from 20 to 17. And then I play 19 of the third, then back to 17 of the second string. And then I do a pull off from 19 to 17 on the third, and then 19 of the fourth string. So let's go from that bend on the third string. Okay, so the whole thing from the top is. After we've done that, we've got this big slidey thing that goes. Let's slow that down. So we've got. That's where we should have ended. We should have ended on 19 of the fourth string. And now we want to slide from 17 to 14 on the third string. And then play 17 to the fourth. And then 14 to 12. And then 14 to the fourth. And then 12 to 9 is a slide on the third. Sorry, 12 to 11 on the third. And then 12 of the fourth. And then 11 to 9 on the third. And then 11 of the fourth. And then 9 to 7 on the third. And then 9 of the fourth. And then 7 to 5 on the third. And then 7 of the fourth. And then 5 to 4 on the third. And 5 of the fourth. And then 4 to 2 on the third. And then 4 on the fourth. All together we've got. Alright, let's have a look at this whole section. Alright guys, let's have a look at the fourth section. We're kind of in a low F sharp minor pentatonic, and I play a slight bend on 2 of the third, and then go to 4 of the fourth string, and do that again. And I'm going to do 2 bends on the third string, and then after that I'm going to do exactly what we did before we went into all that business in the second section. It's pretty much the same phrase over here. So it goes 2 bends, and I've got the crossing over fingers, so I'm going to the 4th fret of the 4th, and then the 4th fret of the 5th, and then I go 2, 4 on the 4th string. So all together it goes. And at the end of that I go. So I've got the same thing twice. I'm doing the slight bend on the second and the third string on 14. I'm doing 2 of those and then playing 16 of the 4th. I'm doing exactly the same thing twice. At the end of the second group, after I hit 16 of the 4th, I want to do exactly what we did in section 2 and kind of borrowing that idea that we did just back there. So we're going to go cross over to 16 of the 5th string again. And then what I do here, which is a little bit different to what we had before, I do a hammer on from 14 to 16. And then when I get to 16, I want to squill that note. Alright, so let's take it from the start of this whole section. Alright guys, for this section I just wanted to have a look at that ridiculous legato run and then slow it down. Okay, so I'm starting from 9 of the 1st string. I'm going to go 9, 11, 12. And then from the 12th fret, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing twice. I'm going to go 12, 11, 9, 12, 11, 9. So I go. Okay, and then from the 2nd string, I want to go 12, 10, 9. And the same shape on the 3rd string, but I've shuffled everything back because of the B and the G change. So now this is going to be 11, 9, 8. When I get to the 4th string and I want to do this idea twice, which is 11, 9, 7. And then this one's a little bit different. So this legato run here goes, so we're going to go 11, 9, 7, 9, 11. So you're going to go forwards and back. And then at the last point, we're just going to pull that pinky off and then land on 9 of the 5th string. And each string we only want to pick once. So we're going to go. Leaving the rest of the work to the legato. So let's hear that one more time. Okay, this next section's pretty easy. We're going to start off with a slide into 9, from 9 to 11 on the 3rd string, and back to 9, and do a very quick slide from 11 to 9 on the 4th, and then I want to play 7 of the 4th. So all together. At the end of that I go. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing a slide from 9 to 11 on the 4th, and then I play 9, 11 on the 3rd string as single notes, and then do a big bend on 12 of the 2nd. So the whole thing together is. And then we want to just steal the first half of that phrase again and then repeat it before the next section. So let's put the whole thing together. Okay, so section 6 was pretty easy. That was just sort of leading us into section 7, which is this ridiculous F-sharp legato run. So I'll play it for you and then we'll work through it together. Alright, let's slow that down. I want to go 2, 4, 5 on the 6th string as legato, so hammering on. And then the same thing on the 5th string. And we're going to slide to 7. Okay, when I get to the 7th fret, I want to pull off to 5 and then 4. So I'm going to be sliding in with a pointer ring pinky situation. But when I get there, after I've gotten there with the pinky, I'm going to pull off to the middle and the pointer. Okay, and then I go to the 6th string and I want to go 7, 5, 7 as a pull off into a hammer between my pinky and my middle. So I go. Okay, then the next bit goes. So let's slow that down. I'm going from the 5th string. I'm going 4, 5, 7, and then 4, 6, 7 on the 4th, and then I slide from 7 to 9 on the 4th. So I go. The whole thing thus far. Okay, so like what we did before when we slide in with the pinky, we want to reverse, and it's exactly the same situation. I'm reversing into my middle and my pointer, but this time the frets are 9, 7, 6. So it'll go. Okay, and much the same as what we had on the 5 and the 7 of the 6th string. It'll go between the pinky and the middle, but now I'm on 9 and 7 of the 5th string. Let's try the whole thing thus far. Okay, and then at the end of that, I want to play 6 of the 4th string, and I'm going to go 6, 7, 9 as a hammer on, and the same on the 3rd. And then when I get to the 2nd string, I'm going to go 7, 10, 7 as a hammer on until we pull off. So I'll play the whole thing a little slower, and then we'll put it all together. Alright guys, section 8, nearly there. We're going to start from 7 of the 2nd string, and then 9 of the 3rd. And then I slide from 7 to 9 of the 2nd, so... And then I go back to 7. Now if you've got a whammy, just hit it 3 times, but if you like me and you don't, I just hit that pointer finger 3 times, so I'll go... Obviously I'm not cool enough to have a real whammy bar. Soz. Anyway, let's have a look at the bit that follows that. This is nearly exactly the same as the other legato run we had, but instead of going 9, 11, 12, we're going 9, 10, 12. So we're going to work our way in, and then as soon as we hit the pinky, go backwards twice. So it'll go... So it's 9, 10, and then 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 9. And then the same thing on the 2nd string. And then I go... Now, because the scales change slightly because of these notes here, I'm going 11, 9, 7 on the 3rd string. Okay, and then I only do this bit once. I go 11, 9, 7 on the 4th. And then after that, I want to go 11, 9, 7, 9, 11, 9 on the 5th. So I go... Alright, let's try the whole section. Alright guys, we're at the last section now. I'm going to slide from 9 to 11, much the same as we had in the 6th section, I believe. Go from 9 to 11, back to 9 on the 3rd. And then I slide from 11 to 9 on the 4th, and then we play 7 on the 4th. So we'll go... Okay, then we go into this last run, which is pretty cool. Let's slow that down. Now this is a bit strange because it sort of sounds like you're hitting the same note twice on different strings, and that's how you get that cool slidey effect. I'm going to start from 4 of the 3rd string and then hit 2nd of the 2nd. And then I slide. Now, you'll notice that I'm starting with my ring finger. But then when I slide from 4 to 6 the next time, I use my middle finger so that I can get to 5 of the 2nd string a little easier. So I'm playing 4 of the 3rd, 2nd of the 2nd, and sliding with my middle from 4 to 6 on the 3rd, and then playing 5 of the 2nd. Okay? Then I slide from 7 to 9 with my ring on the 3rd string, and then hit 7 of the 2nd string. So it'll go... Once again, swapping over. So when I get to 9 of the 3rd this time, I'm sliding from 9 to 11 with my middle, and then hitting the pointer on 10 of the 2nd. All together thus far. Okay, after that I want to slide from 12 to 14 with my ring, and then hit 12 of the 2nd, and then 14 to 16 with the ring on the 3rd string, and then 14 of the 2nd, and then at the end of that, back to the middle again, and I'm going to slide from 16 to 18, and I'll work my way down sort of an A major arpeggio kind of thing. So what I'm doing here, sliding from 16 to 18, hitting a flat finger across 17 to the first 2, so I'm going 2nd and then 1st, sorry. Bit of a mouthful that. And then I want to end on 19 of the 2nd. I'll give that a gentleman's vibrato until that harmonic business comes in. So we had... Let's try the whole thing from the end of this section. So it goes... And that's the electric crown solo. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. It's an epic one. Have a good day, mates.